Hi, Nick Cuca, PGA professional and Titleist TPI certified golf instructor, and I'm here to give you a tip of the week. Today I'm going to talk to you about warming up before practicing. So I'm down at the Golf Performance Center, and I'm going to take you through loosening up your muscles and guaranteeing that you're going to feel a little better and you're going to have a great practice session. So the game of golf really starts with your feet. And with that said, I have a golf ball here. I'm going to set this on the ground. I have my shoes off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll out my feet to start my warm-up. And what I'm doing is I'm giving my foot a massage. And I'm really trying to break up the muscle and get it feeling just a little looser. Now the golf ball is pretty firm. If you're going to do this, I'd maybe start with a tennis ball. A lacrosse ball is also a great option. And then if you can handle a little more pain tolerance, the golf ball works for the purpose well too. After I've rolled out my feet, I'm going to take what's called the stick here, and really like even a golf club would probably work. And what you want to do is you want to get down on one knee, and I'm going to focus on rolling out my calf, and then from my calf down to my ankle. So I'm going to spend some time in here, and if I notice any sort of area that's really, really tight, I really want to dig in and spend some extra time loosening up this as much as possible. The looser my calves are and my hamstrings, I'm going to be able to stay in my posture a little better throughout my golf swing. After I've worked on my calves, I'm going to move over to a foam roller. And the foam roller, I'm going to focus on my hamstrings first. So I'm going to get down here, and while I'm rolling out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my feet, I'm going to kind of roll them out and in. And that's going to help me get around my entire muscle. So I'm going to roll a little back and forth, feet out, feet in, trying to get every single possible inch of that hamstring. While I'm down here, I'm going to spend a little time on my glutes too. I might go to just one leg up, try to dig into my glute a little bit, work the other side also. I'm going to flip over. I'm going to focus on my quads. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to roll around from side to side and get every inch of that quad. While you're down there flipped over, really work up here and get into your hip flexor. That sometimes will feel tight, so spend some extra time in there, really trying to dig into that hip flexor, loosen it up a little bit. After I've worked on my legs, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my back. I'm going to put my hands over my head, my elbows kind of up over in front of my face. And then from here, I'm going to go back and forth, and I'm going to go side to side. Again, I'm working on every single inch of my back as possible. You might get a few pops in there. That's good. It'll loosen up and it'll feel a lot better. While I'm down here, next part I'm going to work is kind of back of my shoulder area, back of my armpit. I'll roll that out a bit. I'll stick my hand out, dig into there. And then from the same position, I'll kind of roll over and I'll get the side of my pectoral muscle. This is really going to help loosen up my shoulder. Very, very key in the golf swing. So after I've worked my feet, my legs, and my back, and my shoulders, I'm going to grab my golf club. Going to do just simple little exercise right before starting to hit. So I'm going to stand about shoulder width apart. I'm going to take this golf club and have my elbows bent at about 90 degrees. Then I'm going to shove the golf club up over my head. And from here, I'm going to squat as low as I can to the ground. And I'm going to try to keep my foot nice and flat on the ground. Go as low as you can. In my case, I'm going to try to get my butt past my knee. You might not be able to get down quite as far, but go as far as you can. And from this position, I'm going to hold the club out in front of me and try to raise it back to over my head. This is just kind of loosening up my shoulders a little bit, good stretch in my lats. And then from there, I'm going to stand up. I might do that 2 or 3 times. It'll get your heart rate going a little bit. And at this point, I'm feeling nice and loose. My muscles are relaxed. I'm in for a great practice session. So I hope you take this advice and spend a little time warming up your muscles prior to practicing. With that said, we hope to see all of you down here practicing at the Golf Performance Center throughout the winter. Thanks, and stay tuned for another tip, another week.